All right, your December 27th episode of Spam 2018. I don't know if we have in the house here going on. I just added him. But, Andrew,
Frank.
yeah,
Yes, I'm here.
why were you late?
I don't know. I didn't get the call.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's my because I forgot to add.
Oh, okay.
Because
All right.
I told the audience originally, Andrew told me he wasn't going to be tonight. And so I when I set up Skype, the conversation, I said a few minutes ago, I forgot. It's always Skype is just a big process. I know it's not really every week. Maybe it is with you. It is. I don't know. Maybe we're just two fools. I don't know.
I don't know what we're doing. Honestly.
No, it's you know what it is. I'll tell. That's what spam is all about. It's talking to the people who listen to us. No, we try to make spam like a reality show. It's not we talk about the news, current events. We try to lift the curtain off the fake news. We give our take on things, but also it's in a way spam is this version of spam compared to what it used to be. This I tried to make this a reality, a weekly episodic reality show where it's me and Andrew. So we talk about our lives and what's going on, but we're not trying to make this like a typical newscast. We talk about what's really happening. So every week, if you notice, it's always problems with, as former co-host Nick Durst likes to say, technical difficulties. We should, yeah. It's 1 week. It's always either Andrew's fault with his failing Wi-Fi, and he likes to go on 20 different pages and lose bandwidth, and he wants to sound like he's talking. From like 20 under 20 leagues under the sea, or it's me. I make a mistake. I forget to add him, or I do something stupid, or I talk for 45 minutes without the call being recorded for UCY. But anyway, we do like the show. We like doing the show. Last week, Andrew filled in for me. Andrew, I heard last week. Well, you didn't want to tell the audience what was going on with me.
Well, because you were busy with school.
So why couldn't you just say that? You made it sound like there was something big and suspicious going on.
I thought we could get ratings.
Oh, you wanted to milk it? You wanted to milk it for you? You wanted to milk it? You wanted to create suspense? Is that what you wanted to do?
Yes.
Oh, you wanted to think maybe that I quit the show? Or I was under contract negotiations. I was holding out for more money. Is that what you wanted to say?
Well, I don't know.
No, well, yeah. All right. No. Last week I had to finish my finals, which I do. I have online courses for my graduate school, and they give you they make you do your finals online. They give you essay questions to write, which. Even if you were in regular classes, they would some classes do the same thing instead of giving you multiple choice, which I think is really I think it's not as good. I think it's not as reliable and valid. I think essays is better in a way because it forces you to think critically, but it could be more subjective. You know, the professor might act more favorably upon you. But I don't know. I think it's harder than multiple choice because multiple choice, you can pretty much study for the answers and memorize the answers and then memorize the questions. But anyway, so then this week Andrew was not going to be on, right? Andrew, to talk about why weren't you going to be on? This has to do with the holidays.
Yeah, I was shopping. I was shopping earlier with my parents, and I thought I wasn't going to be home in time, but then. My parents created a miracle. Let's just say that.
Oh, what would you do for the Christmas weekend?
Well, Saturday I stayed home because I was still sick.
Weren't you traveling to your other studio in Maryland?
No, I'm still in New York.
Oh, you never traveled. Okay, so you were sick. And last week, Andrew, I heard you were sick. You were having You were like last week. You were getting an onset of a fever. Is that what you were saying?
No, I had a cold.
Oh, okay. Yeah, me too. This week I woke up before earlier today with a sore throat, closed throat. That I couldn't speak. And
Oh,
now,
that's not good.
yeah, I don't know what it's about. And earlier, as I was getting ready for the show, I felt like a little feverish. But hopefully, my voice will hold up. How do I sound?
Oh, you sound good. Everybody likes your voice right now.
Yes, and Andrew, you mentioned before during our sound check that you said my voice sounds clearer.
Yeah, because you got a new laptop.
Yes, finally, I got a new laptop. My old laptop, which worked pretty good, it was working pretty good. It just was the problem was with the installs. I couldn't install updates. I kept getting an error. I tried everything possible that I could find online to do in the Microsoft community forums. I even called the Geek Squad. I called the Geek Squad, I think 3 different times, 3 different days. I spoke to like 6 different technicians. None of them could figure it out because do you ever use Geek Squad, Andrew?
I am aware of who the Geek Squad is.
Yeah, well, if you could buy Geek Squad's technical services. What you do is you go online, you go on their website, and if you buy their services, for like $75. They will take over your computer remote control, so they'll access your computer and they'll see exactly what's going on, and they can fix it for you, and they'll download their software to take out the viruses and all that stuff and clean out your computer. 3 different times, I think it was over 7 different agents, and oh man, I think it was over 20 hours combined. None of them could figure it out. We did the command prompts. We ran the scan now and the check disk and all that. And
man, that's a headache.
And nothing could work. The updates, same thing. They would never install. It would always say error, error, error. So finally, we gave up, and they told me to just bring it into the store, which is the store where I bought it from. And they called me up, and they said. There was malware. That was the problem.
Malware. Well, yeah. I actually had malware on my computer like 2 years ago.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen. I had 3 different programs running. I had, besides the Windows Defender, I had WebRoot installed. And then I had Panda Cloud Cleaner. Then we even the Geek Squad, when they run when they install their software on your computer, when they take over, theirs is very powerful. They have like 7 different ones that they run all at once to check. So I mean, this must have been a deep rooted malware that was causing the problem. I mean, that's what they say. I don't know, but they say.
I have McAfee.
Yeah, I have that one now on the new one, but that's what they said was wrong on my old computer. And I guess they fixed it. But now listen to this: on my old computer, since the first day I bought it a few years ago, whenever it turns on, like whenever it goes from shut off, when it's powered down, whenever it turns on, the screen comes up white, gray, and it takes a while. It takes a while to warm up. It was from the first day. It takes a while. It takes like 10 minutes before the screen. You see the lines flashing. It's all white, and then you finally see from top to bottom. It gets the picture comes on. So it's like I can never turn the screen off. Like if it goes on sleep, when it comes back on. So of course, when at the computer place, I told them the screen would not come on. They called me, and they're like, "Yeah, we fixed your computer, but the screen is not coming on." So I was like, "Oh my god!" So they're like, "Yeah, we could send it out, but it'll cost $200." I'm like, "No way, that's too much."
Yeah, why would you want to pay $200 to get a computer repaired?
No, yeah, to fix the screen, which they weren't ripping me off because I looked online. If you want to do it yourself, to order a new screen costs about $85. So basically, and then you do it yourself, you're paying $100 for the labor. So. Anyway, so I was like, I left off with them that I was going to pick up the computer this morning, even though it was fixed, I figured maybe I could just connect it to the TV with the HDMI cable. Maybe
Right.
it would work that way. So then this morning, before I'm about to go, they call me, and the guy says, "Yeah, we fixed your computer." I said, "Yeah, I have an appointment to come in." He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Did they tell you that your screen's broke?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I'm aware of that." He's like, "Oh," he's like, "Well, we could send it out and fix it." I'm like, "Am I covered?" He goes, "Yes." I'm like, "Okay." So now, as of this morning, they sent it out and they fixed. They're fixing the screen. So if everything works out, when I get that old computer back, I'll have a brand new computer. And I told Andrew off the air also that I found a little channel on YouTube where you could upgrade your computer.
Well, again, my computer problem lately is a stupid Windows 10 update assistant. It keeps coming up every single time I use this computer. It irritates me.
Yeah, well, I'll show you later. I'll give you the link off the air, Andrew. Because last night I did on the new computer. I did what the guy suggested, and there's a few things to do on the computer where you can improve the processing speed. You can improve the graphics card. See what it is when you buy your computer. Everything that's listed, let's say the memory, the iCore.
Well, I only have 3 gigabytes of RAM.
Yeah, that's a little low, but you can improve it because the computer companies add everything extra to your computer. It's like a reserve, but they never activate it because that's how they control the prices. You understand? So let's say.
Well, I bought my computer in 2012.
It doesn't matter when. Let's say you have 3 gigs of. You said you have 3 gigs of memory.
Yeah, I have a Toshiba Satellite C655.
Okay. So really, in your computer, you might actually have 5 gigs of memory. And you just have to activate the rest. And I'll show you off the air. But anyway, real quick, we're gonna do Andrew's recap of last week.
Okay.
You didn't have.
I only have one soundbite this week, so.
Okay. So we'll start off to do Andrew's weekly NFL picks for all you gambling addicts. This is our way of me and Andrew. We distract the masses, and we distract the kafirs, the infidels. So,
I had a bad week.
Yeah. Listen. I guess, I keep joking around that gambling is 50-50, but maybe not. So you started last week off, Andrew, 27-32. So last week you had the Jaguars and the 49ers. You had the Jaguars, -4, and the Jaguars took the loss outright, 44-33 to San Francisco. That's a loss. Then you had the Cowboys -5 against Seattle. Seattle, again, outright beat the boys, 21-12. That's a loss.
Well, I thought Dallas was going to win at home.
Dallas packed it in, I guess. As they're out of the playoffs now. They could forget it, which yep. I wasn't expecting them to make the playoffs. And then you had the Patriots -11.5 against the Buffalo Bills, and they crushed the Bills 37-16. That's a win. And then you had the LA Rams -5.5 against the Titans, and the Rams win 27-23. But that's a loss because they didn't cover. And then you had your lock of the week. You took the heavily favored Baltimore Ravens -13.5 versus the Colts, and the Ravens did win 23-16. So that's a loss. So you went 1-4 for the week, Andrew, which brings your record to 28-36. What's the matter? Are you cutting out already?
No, because I'm left wondering how. This is the worst week for me. I only had one win. I only went 1-4.
You went 2 consecutive weeks. You went 1-4. You're 2-8 in your last week. So anyway. Real fast, Andrew. Let's give your 2-minute warning for this week's final NFL regular season games. The dying NFL, we should mention, whose ratings keep plummeting, whose attendance keeps vanishing. And go ahead. And this week you're going to add 2 college games. You could give all 6 picks, Andrew. Okay?
Really?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
Real fast. No analysis. Just give your picks.
Okay, here we go. Well, we finally made it. One more week left until the NFL playoffs, but things have to be determined. But first up, the college football playoffs are coming up this week. So here we go. First up, in the Rose Bowl at 5:15 on New Year's Day, I'm giving Oklahoma plus a point to beat Georgia. And then in the Sugar Bowl at 8:15, I'm giving Alabama minus 3 points to beat, not Georgia, Frank. You typed it wrong. Alabama's playing Clemson. So
no, you typed it wrong because I copied and pasted.
Alabama minus 3 versus Clemson. All right, that's how my my matchup's going to be Oklahoma, Alabama in the final game. So here we go. NFL picks. I have 4 this week. Frank's being generous. So here we go.
You need all the help you could get.
I hope I can. I'm hoping Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons will be in the playoffs. I still have them in the playoffs. They will beat the Panthers by a field goal, minus 3. Atlanta will make the playoffs with a W. Now, here's what I'm hoping that happens. I am hoping the Ravens win. That way they'll get in the playoffs. But I'm hoping the Bills make it because then it gives it a sexy appeal in the playoffs. So here we go. I'm going to give Buffalo minus 3 to beat the Miami Dolphins. And even Tennessee is home. I believe Blake Bortles and the Jacksonville Jaguars will knock out Tennessee Titans for making the playoffs. Thus, meaning the Buffalo Bills will make the playoffs. And then, for my upset of the week, this is a huge upset. I believe that Jimmy Garoppolo and the LA Rams will go into Los Angeles and beat them. That's
Okay.
3 points.
Okay.
That's
Very good. And of course, Andrew, you're cutting out again.
Wait, I'm cutting out?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I think it's you're talking too fast, and you can't keep up with your voice. I don't know what it is. Let me tell again. This is the recurring thing. Andrew, when he on his YouTube channel he uploads professionally edited, recorded videos, 8 and HD, super HD. On Skype, you can't go more than 15 minutes without lagging. I don't understand why.
I don't know either. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you, but it's like I hear static, and it's like you cut out. But anyway, all right. So Andrew, that's your picks. And then I want to move on. At 8:30, of course, we'll have the news, and of course, the story of the year of 2017. So this is going to be the last episode of Spam for 2017, and so I figured we would recap the stories of the year, especially the fake news. I think the story of the year was Trump's first year in office, and the opposition against him. But definitely, every day was an adventure in the news with fake stories. And you see, you can say, "Oh, well, you guys are Trump supporters." No, we're not per se Trump supporters, but we are defenders of the truth, right, Andrew? We expose the fake news. Listen, if Trump,
Frank,
if Trump was doing something wrong, I'd be the first one to make fun of Trump. And expose Trump, but I can't because every time a story comes out, and I say, wow, there's times in the past earlier on this show I was like, wow, Trump is gonna get exposed. They finally got him, and then it turns out that it's all bullshit, and this whole thing has been crap against him. So let's go to our good friend Mark Dice, who has covered, and he's making a living off the fake news. And this is the top CNN fails of the year.
Coming in at number 10, Wolf Blitzer scolding this reporter live on the air after CNN's botched reporting about what James Comey was allegedly going to testify to, when their reports turned out to be, ding, 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 100% wrong.
Well, clearly the sources that were pushing you away are not good sources, so you got to be careful with those sources down the road. Either they don't know what they're talking about, or they're lying.
Well,
so those sources presumably will go
along. Listen, and I just want to say one thing about all the fake news and whatever. I've been saying it. Either these news networks are either dumb. They're either dumb, they're liars, or they're both. Either way, it's not good. You can't go on the air continuously giving fake stories and then apologizing 2 days later and correcting your story. You have to be held accountable sometimes.
Well, this is why I can't watch CNN.
It's just not CNN. It's everybody.
Sources don't know what they're talking about. Coming in at number 9 is Stephen Miller shaming Jim Acosta during a White House press briefing for being a complete idiot.
Which, if you look at the history of immigration, it's actually ebbed and flowed. We've had periods of very large waves, followed by periods of less immigration and more immigration. And during
we've had a period of immigration right now. The president wants to build a wall. You want to bring about a sweeping change to the immigration.
Jim, you don't actually think that a wall affects green card policy. You couldn't possibly believe that, do you? Actually, the notion that you actually think immigration is at a historic law, the foreign-born population in the United States today, Jim,
staff on Monday talking about how border crossings.
Do you really? I want to be serious, Jim. Do you really at CNN not know the difference between green card policy and illegal immigration? Are you really?
This is why we needed Sarah Sanders earlier.
Is that producer that Project Veritas captured on video during one of their undercover investigations, who admitted that the whole Trump-Russia conspiracy theory investigation was a witch hunt, as President Trump has been saying. Coming in at number 7 is Don Lemonhead's reaction to President Trump's rally in Phoenix, when instead of just commenting like a normal person, he said this.
He is clearly trying to ignite a civil war in this country. He has not tamped down race. And I'm just going to say, if he was on my team in this newsroom and said those things, he would be escorted out of the building by security. And
yes, the president wants to start
hell?
Don. That's
freaking unbelievable.
Finally discovered it. Coming in at number 6 is when they assembled this panel to talk about how offensive President Trump's comments were about the violence in Charlottesville when he blamed both sides.
How many of you, show of hands, were troubled by the president's response to the violence in Charlottesville?
They're laughing at her. That is really the only response that people should have to CNN, is to laugh at them. Coming in at number 5 is when Anderson Cooper was out on the streets in Manhattan doing a live shot when this happened.
If memory serves me, there were some. In some of the attacks in Europe that we've seen, there have been that. I was just going to say that if he did make contact.
Oh, I remember that.
And number 4 is this kid who trolled Jim Acosta during a live shot during the White House Easter egg roll by yelling fake news. You can't hear the kid.
Fake news.
You can read his lips and you can see that that's exactly what he's saying. And if you doubt that, this is Kellyanne Conway's son. So he's in the know. Coming in at number 3 is when CNN discovered that the Russians were using Pokemon Go, the augmented reality video game, to help destabilize America. You can even see the bimbo Brooke Baldwin just can't even believe what they're making her read on the teleprompter.
We have exclusive new details about the Russian-linked effort to meddle in the 2016 presidential election. Dylan Byers and Donnie O'Sullivan have tracked one meddling effort that bridged everything from Facebook and Twitter to YouTube, Tumblr, and even Pokemon Go.
Hold on. Listen, if anybody even took that serious, how is Russia going to affect the election by infiltrating Pokemon Go when the only people who play Pokemon Go were kids from younger than 11 years old, 12 years old? They can't vote. How is that going to influence the election?
Well, I don't really know.
No, but seriously.
Can you explain to me how Pokemon Go had to do anything with the 2016 presidential election?
Even if let's say Russia would stupidly hack Pokemon Go, how would that affect the election when 99% of the people who play and use Pokemon Go are younger than 11 years old.
And here's the thing: we know why Hillary Clinton lost. They reopened the investigation a week before the election.
We know that. I'm just commenting on this.
CNN can't accept the fact that
the elections are going to ruin America through Pokemon Go. Coming in at number 2 is when CNN's own Van Jones was approached by an undercover reporter for Project Veritas when he admitted that the whole Russia conspiracy investigation that CNN has dedicated their entire life to this year was a big nothing burger. And coming in at number 1 is when CNN got the date wrong by 10 days on some emails that were sent to the Trump campaign about WikiLeaks releasing hacked emails from the DNC. When those emails and those leaks were already made public, everybody was already talking about them. And then someone decided to send the Trump campaign an email about them, but WikiLeaks got the date wrong by 10 days, thinking that they got advanced knowledge, thinking that this was the smoking gun, thinking that finally the Trump campaign has been exposed. They were all going to prison. I just want to thank you again, CNN, for all the fake news this year. You've given me more than enough material to cover.
All right. Listen, sadly enough, it's just not CNN. What about that the Brian Ross report from ABC when he announced when they had breaking news that Flynn was going to testify?
And the bad news is he's coming back the first week in January. Oh no!
Even for the audience out there, whoever's listening, I know maybe the chat room, the UCY chat room. I know they're super woke and they know everything. And listen. I watch the congressional hearings, the Senate hearings on C-SPAN. I see the testimonies of these people. Flynn, all he did was plead guilty to He himself swore that he took a guilty plea that he lied to the FBI, which so happens to be the same reason why he got fired by the White House for lying to them. I don't know why he lied. I don't know why. There was really nothing that he did wrong. I don't know why he lied about it. But anyway, lying to an lying to the FBI, which the FBI never actually proved he lied. Like I said, they never proved he lied. All it is that Flynn he pleaded guilty. He copped a plea that he lied, and that's pretty much the bottom of the barrel. That's all they got, is that Flynn took a guilty plea, and plus the notion that Brian Ross and ABC reported that Flynn was going to testify against Trump is the stupidest fucking thing you could ever imagine. Because who is Flynn? He's a liar. He got fired by the White House for lying. He swore that he lied to the FBI. So he's a liar. So in what courtroom would a prosecutor use Flynn as a witness, as a credible witness, when he's a two-time liar? So just knowing that is the notion of him ever testifying in a courtroom is ridiculous. See, this is why
it irritates me that all this year. And I'm sorry for saying this, the liberal media has been so fascinated by these 4 words that I am sick and tired of hearing of. Trump, Russia, passable collusion. Stop it already.
Listen,
Just stop it.
Real quick, and the news is coming up. Listen, real quick, because I have the articles coming up in the news. We'll cover this. Listen, this whole thing, like I said, the news, all mainstream media news, internet news, social media. Listen, that's the way the news is these days. It's not based. It's only based in 10% truth. It's all sensationalized. This story of the Trump-Russia collusion is a juicy story that a lot of the public wants to believe because they don't like Trump for some reason. They've been convinced about this. It's all garbage. First of all, again, if you listen to the testimony, if you listen to the Senate hearings, the congressional oversight hearings, you will have no reason to listen to the news because it's all a bunch of crap. Especially in March when Comey testified in March that Trump, listen to me, real closely. He was never under any investigation and is not under any investigation. So the notion that...
So before I read the news, I just want to say this. 3 words you're not allowed to say next year. Russian possible collusion.
Yeah,
right?
now, who knows what they're going to come out with. But listen, it's all pointless. But in March, once Comey testified under oath to the Senate that Trump was never under investigation and is not under investigation, the notion that anything that Mueller comes up with is going to lead to Trump's impeachment is just false. It has nothing to do with it.
There is no proof to impeach Donald Trump.
Yeah, and again, as I told somebody this the other day, listen, we're a year later. This is now 2018. Trump got elected in 2016. They still have not come up with anything. The only thing they have is that Flynn pleaded guilty. Again, pleaded guilty to something he got fired for. So where is all the evidence? I mean, anyway. All right, so Andrew, God, let's start the final segment of the 2017 and of you reading the news.
All right, everyone, time for the news. Well, here we go. Analysis. The giant probe into the Hillary Clinton email investigation could be a landmine for Robert Mueller. Back in January of 2017.
Yeah, Andrew, you're coming. You're coming in and out again. See?
Can you hear me now?
No, you keep coming. You keep cutting in and out. I don't know why.
Am I cutting in and out now?
No, now you're not.
I think it's because of the sound bites. That's the sound bite.
Shut everything off, Andrew. Shut everything off except for the teleprompter.
Teleprompter is on, Frank. Here we go. Analysis. Quiet probe into the Hillary Clinton email investigation could be a landmine for Robert Mueller. In 2017, back in January of 2017, news that the Justice Department's Inspector General launched an investigation into the government's disputed handling of the Hillary Clinton email inquiry was quickly overtaken by the chaotic run-up to President Trump's inauguration. Nearly a year later, Inspector General Michael Horowitz's wide-ranging view of the FBI and Justice for politically charged Clinton case.
All right, Andrew, if you can't come in clear, I'm going to have to read the news because you can't ruin the rest of the broadcast.
Okay, I'll try it again. Okay.
Yeah, but you keep cutting in and out.
Why do I keep cutting in and out?
I don't know.
Okay, let me try reading it again. Nearly a year later, Inspector General Michael Horowitz's wide-ranging review of FBI and justice work in the politically charged Clinton case now looms as a potential landmine for Russian Special Counsel Robert Mueller. 4 months, Horowitz's investigation, which has amazing interviews with former Attorney General Loretta Lynch, who I can't stand, former FBI Director James Comey, and other key officials, has been grinding on in near anonymity. This is until earlier this month when the Inspector General acknowledged that Mueller was alerted to a catch of text messages exchanged between 2 FBI officials on his staff that disparaged Trump.
Andrew, you're cutting out. Andrew, hold on. How about this? Let me read it, and then we'll comment on it, okay? Because I don't know. Maybe it's because you're lagging. I don't know. So, all right. So, the communications involving senior counterintelligence agent Peter Strzok's and bureau lawyer Lisa Page were gathered in the course of Horowitz's internal review of the Clinton case, which Strzok's also helped oversee. Horowitz's investigation is not examining Mueller's operation, but the disclosures already have provided a hammer to Trump loyalists who are escalating their criticism of the legitimacy of the special counsel's inquiry. So, again, Andrew, I know you know this, but this agent, Peter Strzok, who was one of the top agents involved in investigating Hillary's emails, which he changed the wording from gross negligence, which is in the statutes of breaking the law. So he changed the language from gross negligence to I forgot what he said, to uncaring, whatever, which basically got Hillary off in her of being charged. And then it came out that this agent, Peter Strzok, he had a series of text messages where he said that he felt he was protecting the country against Trump being elected. And there was no way that Trump could, in the event that Trump got elected, they needed an insurance policy. And he mentioned, I just left Andy's office and told him this, meaning Andy is the deputy head of the FBI, Andy McCabe. So this guy, Peter Strzok, he's basically telling in these text messages, he's basically saying he just got talking. He just got finished talking with Andy McCabe, the deputy inspector of whoever, the deputy commander of the FBI, that they had in case the worst case scenario that Trump gets should be elected, they need an insurance policy. So who the fuck is this guy? That the collusion is with the FBI.
Well, of course there is, and they're trying to find a way to stop Trump.
This is collusion, yes. So this is the Democrats, as I've said in earlier episodes of Spam, this is the Democrats' playbook. They use what's called the House of Mirrors strategy. Whatever they're doing wrong or whatever they're guilty of, they put in front of their opposition. They claim their opposition or their enemies are doing it. So this is the real truth of the matter is the collusion in the 2016 elections is with the FBI and Hillary Clinton and the Department of Justice. It's not Russia has nothing to do with this. Andrew, you know this, and
it also says in the article, justice officials have indicated that a report's coming out in the next few months, 2018. This is never ending.
No, yeah. Listen, and the notion that Russia tries to interfere in our election. Listen, every major country in the world tries to interfere and influence other countries' elections. You don't think the Americans have done it? Hillary Clinton has been recorded on tape of saying how they tried to influence Iran's elections. We've interfered in Iran's elections since the 60s. What about when Obama goes on records a message saying that he supports who's that Macron for France? Well, who the hell is Obama to be recording a public service announcement saying he supports one candidate over the other for another country? Who the hell is he?
Well, I don't remember any president doing that.
Yeah, right. That's like the president of Italy recording a message saying they support Hillary over Trump. Who the fuck cares? Who's the prime minister of Italy to give an endorsement and record a message? So this notion of influencing is ridiculous.
Because they wanted a globalist in the White House. That's why.
Yeah, listen. The whole truth of this matter is the Obama administration, the Department of Justice, the FBI, and then Hillary Clinton. They are all in collusion. They all wanted to extend their reign in the deep state of controlling the country, and that's why it couldn't be if Trump got elected. This would all come out, and they would all be exposed. Because I'll tell the audience, and I'll tell you, Andrew, and it's been coming out. There are patriots in the FBI and the CIA who want to bring down the corruption and the criminals and the Clintons and the Obamas. They want to restore America and they want to restore integrity. How do you think these text messages got leaked by this FBI agent?
WikiLeaks.
No, Andrew, I just told you. Did you ever read the magazine, Mad Magazine?
I've heard of it, yes.
Yeah. Spy versus spy. There's the black spy versus the white spy. That's called the black hats and the white hats. There's good guys and bad guys in the same agency. So there's good guys in the FBI and there's bad guys in the FBI, and same thing in the CIA. And the good guys, the patriots, or the people who want to get rid of the corruption, they are exposing this. That's why when they say there's a civil war going on in the FBI or a civil war going on in the CIA.
Well, let me ask you a question. Do you think Michael Horowitz is doing a good job?
Who?
Michael Horowitz.
Listen, it's like everybody's hands are tied into this. It's like there's a higher power involved. That's what it is. There's a higher power involved in all this. Basically, the higher power is that the corruption runs so deep, it's too big to fail. It might bring down. It could have implications. This came out a long time ago with Clinton, and that's why last year when she got acquitted or she never got charged, because the corruption. This is what's under the rug. The corruption is so massive, and it goes all the way to Obama. And you're going to say, oh well, that's because you hate Obama. No. Do you mean to tell me when Hillary Clinton, all those years when she was Secretary of State and she was running that private server from her bathroom, do you mean to tell me Obama never once communicated with her on that email?
I'm sure Obama did that.
Of course, and he never received emails from her, and he's going to say, "Oh well, how sometimes you just check your email."
Let me be clear. I never got an email from that server. Or the IP address.
Obama said, "Oh, I heard about the server just like you from the news." Bullshit. When you get an email from somebody, you see where it's coming from, and you see
exactly. Don't give us your "let me be clear" excuse.
Listen, and that email was all again. This is all because Hillary had to set up that server because she and her husband are crooks, and they had to hide dirt on that server because they have to use a .gov email to be public record. Yes, everybody. If you work in government, you're allowed to have a personal email. Of course, you can have as many personal emails as you want, but when you conduct government business, as in handling, receiving, and sending classified information, that has to be done over the .gov email because it's protected, and not only is it protected, it's public record because it's public record. We, the people, as taxpayers, have the right to see that eventually when it becomes declassified. That's why it becomes public record. So anyway, let's move on. So justice officials have indicated that a report is likely in the next few months. This is all political theater. Once it's completed, the Inspector General's review also threatens to give opponents fodder to unleash fresh criticism of the FBI, which Trump has singled out in scathing rebukes since Mueller's indictment of former National Secretary Michael Flynn. He indicted him, okay, but listen, he pleaded guilty to lying to the FBI, so that's done. There is going to be no more charges against Flynn. He's done. And like I mentioned earlier,
well, I hope there aren't any more charges against Michael Flynn. It'll be enough.
No, listen, it doesn't matter. He pled guilty. He pleaded guilty. Do you understand what I'm saying? For whatever he did wrong, the FBI gave him a bargain. He pleaded guilty to lying, and that's it. He's done. Michael Flynn is done with. He can't be charged for the same crime 2 times. He's done. He took a guilty plea. He's done.
Exactly. It's bullshit.
Whatever it is, if that means that just tells you that the FBI had nothing on him. So Stokes was removed from the Russia investigation this summer immediately after Mueller was informed of the communications which agents described Trump as an idiot and expressed a clear preference for Clinton. Page, meanwhile, had completed her temporary assignment to the Russian inquiry and returned to the bureau headquarters where the texts were discovered by Swecker. Said Mueller acted appropriately in dismissing Stokes. Acted appropriately? I mean, he had no choice.
Well, you're reading so fast, I can't even catch up.
No. They're saying that Mueller did the right thing. No, they're saying that Mueller did the right thing by firing this FBI agent Peter Stokes. I mean, what are you going to do? And listen, this is not good for Mueller. I mean, if shit ever hits the fan, and this goes to court, they're going to call any defense lawyer is going to call this. And it's not going to look. They have no chance of ever winning. And the end game is they're never going to win. And it all comes down now. The dossier. Remember the dossier, Andrew, where that fake dossier where they said that the Russians had blackmail over Trump, that he had hookers pee on him. That was
hookers pee on him. What the hell?
Yeah, that's the dossier. The whole basis of this investigation was,
why would you want a hooker urinating on you?
It's fake, Andrew. That was the insurance policy.
I know it's fake. That wouldn't make any sense in real life.
No, because it's so embarrassing that.
That sounds like an episode from South Park.
Yeah. The whole thing is that the Russians found this out, and now that this is so embarrassing that if the Russians release it, they will ruin Trump. So Trump has to do what they say, which is all fake. That was the insurance policy. It was all fake. So this is just, listen to me. This is all political theater, and this is all the corruption is going to come out. Maybe it'll never come out, but if you want to hear the truth, I suggest to you and the audience go and listen to, go on CNN.org, go on the Congressional Oversight Committee, the Senate hearings, and go read the testimony. That idiot Andy McCabe, he got grilled 7 hours. I saw it, and you had to see his face, Andrew. He looked like somebody who just when your mom tells you. You took the cookies out of the cookie jar, didn't you, Andy? And he's guilty of sin, and he can't even look up. And that's why Trump the other day tweeted that now this guy McCabe announced that he's going to retire in March.
Again, why can't we forget about this in 2018?
Listen. Because it's a constant distraction. See, this is, and Andrew, you said you've mentioned about the Republicans and the elections coming up in the midterm elections in 2018. This is serious because we can laugh about the fake news because we know the truth, but the public does not. A lot of the public doesn't know. A lot of the public relies on the news for their information. And this is the problem. This is the problem with the Republicans. The Republicans have to really start winning the media battles, the media propaganda. They're lacking in the as far as propaganda in the media. That's why Moore lost. And whether you support Moore or don't support Moore, Moore lost that election to Jones because of those fake allegations.
Exactly, and I'm hoping no other Republican has to deal with the shame Roy Moore had.
Right, and now you're going to say, well, listen, Frank, how could you say those are fake allegations? Have you heard anything about Roy Moore and his allegations since that election was over a few weeks ago?
Honestly, no one's talked about Roy Moore in like 2 weeks.
Exactly. Where's the outrage? Where's Gloria Aldred? Where's that accuser who, it came out, she forged the signature on the yearbook. She admitted it. So see.
Well, I still would have voted for Roy Moore, even though I originally wanted Luther Strange.
Okay. Yes, Andrew. But again, don't you see the damage is done? Just like we said in the beginning with the fake news. You can't keep broadcasting and reporting a fake story and then 2 days later, 3 days later, a week later say, oh, we made a mistake. This is the truth. Because the public sees the first initial report. They'll never...
And then it hurts, and it hurts you. It really does. Lifelong, it will hurt you.
70% of the public has it embedded in their mind that Roy Moore... molested the 16-year-old girl. And the proof is, oh, look, he signed her yearbook. 80% of the public will never hear the truth that this girl admitted to forging the signature. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, let's move on because we took up a lot of time. And again, here's another article about McCain, Senator McCain, who is implicated in originating this Trump dossier, and he's gonna get subpoenaed, or his associate is supposed to be subpoenaed into the Trump dossier. Again, the corruption runs deep.
Problem. I'm just gonna mainly say this. I know Ted Kennedy had the same cancer McCain has. He's not gonna beat it.
Well, it doesn't matter. He's still a senator. So this Senator McCain was heavily involved from the beginning in the Trump dossier. I don't know. He was an enemy of Trump. I don't know. Maybe because Trump made that comment.
Because he wanted Jeb Bush. We know that.
Right. So there you go. As I've been saying, Jeb Bush was supposed to be the favorite. I think he was supposed to be the president instead of Hillary, actually. But anyway,
I thought it was going to be Ted Cruz.
No, you always say that, Ted Cruz. It was supposed to be Jeb Bush and Clinton. Listen, I mentioned again on Spam. Out of the last 36 years since 1980 to 1980 to 2016, that's 36 years. In those 36 years, 32 of those years, either a Bush family member or a Clinton family member has been in the White House.
And that scares me.
And they wanted to do it 40 out of 44 years with Hillary. And that's why, don't you see, doesn't that bother anybody that a Bush or a Clinton is in the White House?
That would have bothered me.
And you're going to say, oh, well, how could you say Obama was the president? Yeah, but Hillary was the Secretary of State. She's number 3. That's a very powerful position. That bothers me. But anyway, moving on real quick, this story that I found. Federal agents found fetuses in a body broker's warehouse. This is disgusting.
What?
This is just disgusting. Federal agents discovered 4 preserved fetuses in the Detroit warehouse of a man who sold human body parts. Confidential photographs reviewed by Reuters show the fetuses were found during a December 2013 raid of business Arthur Rathburn's warehouse. The fetuses, which appear to have been in their second trimester, were submerged in a liquid that included human brain tissue. This is disgusting. There was fetuses in brown liquid. Rathburn,
that's disgusting.
Rathburn, a former body broker, is accused of defrauding customers by sending them diseased body parts. So this guy, not only is he a fucking piece of shit selling body parts, human body parts, and organs, he sends them diseased body parts. How Rathburn acquired the fetuses and what he intended to do with them is unclear. Yeah, I could tell you he probably got them from Planned Parenthood. They've been they've been recorded as selling off body parts.
Well, again, I just want to quickly mention, I've been saying this since 2015 to everybody. There needs to be a congressional investigation on Planned Parenthood.
I forget about it.
That's for a woman's right to choose, but at the same time, Planned Parenthood should be federally investigated.
I agree because if they're receiving money, but listen, that's just another Pandora's box. But anyway, Blackburn recoiled when a Reuters reporter showed her some of the photographs taken by officials involved in the raid. In 4 of the photos, a crime investigator in a hazmat suit used forceps to lift a different fetus from a brownish liquid. It's sickening. And in 3 other photos, a marker that includes a government evidence identification number lies besides a fetus. These are dead babies that were taken from the womb, aborted. They were aborted. Of course, that's who does the abortions? Planned Parenthood. So this guy had fetuses that he was selling. He was buying and selling cadavers and other body parts, with the exception of organs used in transplants, is legal and virtually unregulated in America. Can you imagine this? It's unregulated, but trading in fetal tissue violates U.S. law. I don't know. In most states, including Michigan, public health authorities are not required to regularly inspect body broker facilities. Could you imagine this? As a result, It's impossible to know whether body brokers who deal in adult donors are requiring and profiting from fetuses. No, they're doing it for their health. Are you fucking kidding me?
I swear this is messed up. And then again, it's not enough there's only one abortion clinic in Mississippi. Imagine if it came from there.
Yeah. So it's ridiculous. So this last story, and this is another big story of the year, which was the hashtag #MeToo, where all of a sudden everybody is coming out with the.
Well, also the tax plan passing last week was a big story as well.
Yeah, but the sexual accusations had a lot to do because it brought down a lot of big people.
Yeah, it's in my top 5 stories this year, obviously.
Yeah. So this story is tied to Amazon and Microsoft directors as they face charges following a sex trafficking sting, and according to Newsweek, they got their hands on a slew of emails sent to brothels and pimps between 2014 and 16 that document the industry's patronage of brothels and purchasing of services from trafficked sex workers. See, so not only are they getting whatever, it's okay that they're getting hookers, but these hookers are trafficked sex workers.
Right.
So that makes it bad. The revelation that Amazon and Microsoft directors were implicated in the sting prompted the two companies to release statements condemning sex trafficking, and real fast, of course, they're cooperating, of course, and Amazon gave their statements. Several emails sent from tech companies employees via their work addresses simply replied, "I think you might have the wrong email address," which Newsweek explained this comment to verify the identity of the first-time buyer. And this is all bullshit. Listen, the hashtag Me Too has revealed that a lot of people in power, they're into kinky, freaky sex. And most of the time it is abusing people, harassing people, and it's hurting people. And again, you might say, "Oh, well, it's just prostitutes." Yes, but these prostitutes are trafficked sex workers, which is a big thing
which is illegal.
Yeah, illegal. Yeah, it's basically it's sex slaves. You're a sex slave. That's why the immigrants, you say the people coming over the wall, a lot of these people, especially the women, are brought into the country under the guise of like, oh, they're going to get a green card, but then they wind up being set up as prostitutes to work off their debt. So it's not good. So Andrew, we're going to close out the final episode of 2017. I want to wish our audience, UCY,
a very happy new year.
We'll be back in 2018. Andrew, read the plugs.
All right. So follow me on Twitter at Andy's Randomness, Frank at EAZZ34. I'm also on Snapchat, Andrew Sports Fan.
Okay. And once again, thank you, UCY. Thank you to all the other contributors to UCY. And thank you to Jules. Happy New Year, and we'll see you next year. Thank you. Goodbye.
Happy New Year.
Play the anthem, Andrew. Where's the national anthem?
Sorry, Frank. I swear when Frank gets crazy, everyone, he just does.